yesterday, aren't you?
Excuse me, could you repeat the question again?
I'm assuming.
Yeah, yeah, I was.
Are you the same
Yeah, yeah,
Raga
yeah,
that we
yeah,
were talking to on Twitter Spaces a few
yeah,
days ago?
yeah. It's me.
Hey, lovely. Great to see. I really, really love that due diligence checklist. Very cool stuff.
Oh yeah, it's no problem. I learned the hard way because I've been scammed before. So and then I was looking at it. What happened? What did I do wrong? It sucks, man. You know, your hard work and money just goes to somebody else, and then whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, from their
Oh,
part, they
well, I
were
mean,
really
it's a mistake that
professional.
everyone makes once or twice.
Yeah.
Well, again, that's a scary sign that the sophistication of these hackers is only going to get more and more complex as they realize how much money's in this space. So, all the more reason for people to learn how to do due diligence.
That's the thing, you know, they become like they're like cockroaches. You kill one, 1,000 come up. So the only way to
Right?
fight them is like
Yeah.
educate people, and yeah, that's why I
Yeah.
just made the video, and hopefully people are gonna look at it.
Nice.
When I was checking your project, I was like, damn, they have everything ready. Their LinkedIn is visible. I saw the videos on YouTube. I saw the gameplay. That's why I noticed your green suit. I was and the hoodies. I love it so much. Are you guys gonna sell
Thank
the
you.
hoodies?
So we didn't actually sell them. We gave them away because, like with all things with Frogland, we like to under promise and over deliver. And everyone like went merch, and so we told them about our shenanigans that were planned over at NFT NYC. And for any ringleader, so anyone who had 7 or more frogs, they actually got a free jacket simply by turning up to the event. And
Oh,
so we had
seriously?
Frank Kozik, who's the chief creative officer of Kid Robot, made that logo for us.
Yeah.
And he was a big frog holder, picked up about 50 frogs.
Damn.
So yeah, it was
So they
it was
got
a
an
lovely event.
actual
But that being said, we will.
physical jacket.
Yeah, it's
Oh, it's
amazing.
a
I want to
beautiful,
represent it here in
dried
the
up, nice
Netherlands.
warm jacket.
All right.
We're going to sort out merch soon, TM. We have some interesting developments we'll be making there. But yes, can't say too much because of course we're recorded, so my
Yeah.
lips are sealed.
I just need 2 more for it to become a ringleader. I need 7, right? Because I was scooping. Somebody sold
There we go.
rank 92 on Rarity Snipe for 2 Ethereum. I couldn't believe my eyes. I was like, why is he
Wow.
selling rank 92 for
Wow.
2 Ethereum? I snatched it right away. I was like, screw that. I'm not gonna scoop the. I'm not gonna
Hey,
sweep
good
the floor.
man.
So I was like, okay. And now it's in my heart wallet. I never want to sell it. Oh Jesus.
So I've got a 70%, 30% rule where once I've got a decent amount, I look to have 30% of them rares, but 70%, especially in the case of frogs, because of course with Frogland, every frog gets a plot of land, and the land itself is going to have rarity that's not tied to the frog. So
Oh.
my view is now that I've got a bunch of very cool rare ones, I just want to keep sweeping the floor because ultimately that then gives me another chance to get more rare land, which has some significant implications in the world itself. So a little bit of a tip: keep your eyes peeled because you do get some awesome frogs on the floor. People also don't realize about the levels of the boosts of the project because Rarity
Yeah.
Tools doesn't take that into account. So you get some very good finds if you just dig a little bit deeper. And we know those people who are most active in the community, they will know this. However, those people who aren't, who are trying to make a quick buck, won't. So this is another way that we can sort of reward our supporters and those people most actively involved in the community to make sure that they're going to profit the most as we continue to build out this metaverse.
This is gonna be so amazing, man. I love the fact that every frog is like it's the rarity is not connected to the rarity of the frog. Like every frog is unique, and every frog is rare. And
Indeed.
it's the way you make it, you know, the
All
story
frogs
you
are
make it.
equal, some more
Yeah,
equal than the others.
yeah. I don't understand. When I was researching this project, I was like, why
Absolutely.
is this project so cheap? Why are people not buying this? But then I realized you guys didn't do any marketing. So I was like, oh, this is a good way for me to step in. So
Not,
you know, Damlev, he's one of my friends. I educated about crypto.
of course.
I created a course about
Nice.
cryptocurrency, and he joined it. He learned about it, and now he's also into NFTs, and he's
Amazing.
like really passionate about crypto NFTs. And I told him like, yo, buy this, buy this. You know, this is how he gets into crypto, and he really trust
Amazing.
me. There's magnificent. You know that word? In Dutch we say
Yes.
magnifique. He only uses that word for your
Ah.
project. And all the other project he never uses that word. So every time when I see a
Wonderful.
frog post, I always tag him in it and I use that word for him because he always used that word for you guys. It's so funny, man. I wish he
Awesome.
could be here.
He's been
Yes,
amazing.
indeed.
He's been the one typing up all the bug report documents. too.
Yeah, he showed me. He was playing the game, and he was sharing a screen, and then he showed me the Word document. I was like, damn, you really need to do that because that's really useful info. You know, in the beginning when I received the file from you guys, I was like, shit, if this file is compromised, I'm gonna lose my my stuff maybe. You know, that's why I was really cautious. But then he told me, no, it's safe. Then I jumped in it as well, so I played it. Do you know
There we
what I
go.
like the most? It's like you guys purposely created those weapons and boxes behind the wall. So we were glitching. We were looking for glitches in the game, and we were just looking like, why did they added the guns inside of the wall? You know, we were trying to solve the puzzle, like the murder. You know, we were like investigators, and we're gonna do some role
I
play
love it.
into it. Hopefully this Sunday. I hope you guys are gonna be there. And yeah, I have a lot of experience when it comes to roleplay in GTA 5. So I was always the Indian
Nice.
guy. So maybe I'm gonna do that in Frogland as well. A little
There we
bit of
go.
comedy.
Yeah, it's a wild space, and in fact, the beauty of this, because the metaverse is being developed in an iterative process, we push out updates and then we continue to build on top of those updates. And I think it was when we first released the demo, we built the bar so that no one could get behind the bar. But lo and behold, in a few short hours alone, the community had already figured out how to glitch the game to allow people to get behind the bar, which is amazing.
Yeah.
And
We were
then
fighting.
the next update, that sort of changed that functionality, and then all of a sudden someone managed to find it, which is fascinating, because then all of a sudden you walk up and down the corridor with the cocaine and the guns. Which is again something we hadn't anticipated, but sure enough, the community found it. And so really, it's amazing having this transparent process of bug fixing and discovery that again you won't traditionally see in usual development, and it's fun. It is generally fun. That some people know how to do it and others won't, and then they want to know how to do it. Yeah, it's been a really interesting process.
Yeah, Tony, you should definitely have a look at their game. Have you? The demo gameplay is compare that with
I saw
Decentraland.
the bar trailer.
Magnifique,
Yeah.
I think they say.
I'm gonna show this to Dolo. He's gonna laugh. It's so amazing. Is everybody here present before we start the meeting?
You know what? I think let's crack on with the meeting just in case. We can update anyone if they were to hop in a little bit late. But I think you have Lollipops here, who is the keeper of the keys, the master of all. So let's get cracking.
Okay, ribbit.
Well, let's rock and go.
All right, shall I introduce myself a little bit, or shall I just start with that?
Yeah,
Let's
let's go ahead.
Yeah, so my name is Ali. I'm 29 years old, born and raised in the Netherlands. Beside NFTs and crypto, I'm a financial controller. I currently work for the Dutch government. And beside that, I study a lot about cryptocurrencies and NFT projects. And I found out about Amakuni. And I studied the white paper and the roadmap and the game mechanics and the potential of this project. And when I saw this project, I really saw that they did their homework before they released the project, unlike other NFT projects. So when I started to ask the questions to Tony, who is the product owner of Amakuni. He really liked it, and I was like, let me just help you out to get more exposure for this project, because I know people really need to know about this project and the potential of play to earn games in the NFT space. Because we're not here only to make money, we have a big responsibility of showing the true potential of NFTs in this space and to give the future children a way of living by playing the games instead of just paying money. So that's about me a little bit.
Nice. Awesome.
Tony, go ahead.
Noble things.
Yeah, sure. Hey guys, so I'm Tony. I'm a COO of Amakuni. So I've been working in the game industry since probably 14 years now. So my work is mostly involved in mobile games, so mid-core, social casinos, and hyper casual stuff like that. And recently, me and my co-founders, we have 5 of us. We see the potential in play to earn, so we decided that we want to jump in and we want to do something that a little bit different. That's this. That's a quick overview of about me and the project.
Awesome. It sounds fascinating, and again, definitely the right direction to be moving in. So I'm fascinated to hear as much as I can. Sure. If you are not too familiar with Frogland, so Frogland is a co-created metaverse built between the community, ourselves, Frogland, and a world-class game development studio. and the former management team of Sony's flagship London studio, who worked on PlayStation Home and built a lot of the PlayStation's best-selling launch virtual reality content. So with that, we wanted to build a metaverse, and we wanted to fund it without needing to rely on institutional finance. So we've built a model whereby the initial investors, so to speak, the initial frog holders that bought the frogs, provided the funding to build the initial version of the metaverse, the vertical slice, if you will. From there, we'll then introduce land sales and partner districts and land sales around partner districts to allow us to continue to develop without needing to dilute founders' vision or lose control by bringing on VCs. So it's a wonderful project. We really are quite passionate about it. We have a number of members of superstars from various areas of Hollywood and video games and virtual reality and Web3 to build this thing out. So yeah, it's a great project. Anyone who has a frog can already download and play the Frogland metaverse. And so yeah, in essence is the project. My name is Zed, or Snoop Frog, it's my frog name. And yeah, I've just been dabbling with tech for some time now. And I'll pass over to Lollyhops.
Thanks, Ed. So my name is Lollyhops, also known as Andy. I have been around crypto and NFTs for 7-ish years now. I just was able to quit my job officially and move full time into the space in November with the launch of Frogland. And I'm the community manager and producer, so I do a whole lot of scheduling and cat herding. But yeah, I do a lot of the community management, making sure that everything that the community kind of wants to see and enjoys gets reflected back into what we're building. And similarly, if they ask for something that's not possible to build, I make sure we kind of realign those expectations a little bit as well. So just a whole lot of being in the middle and talking to both sides.
All right.
Awesome. Hi, my name's Orlando. Even though that says Monica, my name's actually Orlando. I'm using my partner's computer until my new one gets here.
I get bamboozled.
Yeah. So I just recently joined Frogland as a producer. I moved over from Weta Digital, working on Avatar 2. Kind of just had my fill on working on that project, and I was really been interested in the crypto space and gaming space. So there you go.
Okay, nice to meet you all.
Nice to meet you too.
Thank you. All right, so what we wanted to achieve with this meeting was talk about NFTs in general and how we as two projects are going to change this space to bring more value to the NFT space instead of just being images. We want to give the users not only an image that they're holding, but also the utility behind it, so they can really get closer to the original owners and yeah, be part of the community instead of just being investors buying the image and nothing happens afterwards. That's so I see that we as two projects, we have a big responsibility to show the true potential to the outside world, not only to the people in the NFT space, but to the outside world as well. So how are we going to achieve this with both projects, and what is our plan, what we can release to the public? So anybody want to pick up the question?
So
I'm so sorry. I took my headphone out for 30 seconds.
Oh.
That's the question.
Okay, so the question is like, how are we as projects going to change the NFT space and bring true value to yeah, gaming in the crypto space, in the NFT space, and yeah, the true potential of NFTs?
So in my mind, the very important thing that needs to happen is we need game developers to start paying more attention to the space. Presently, we're seeing a lot of Web3 engineers who understand the Web3 world and are leveraging open source platforms like Minecraft to be able to add their Web3 knowledge to that. But as we found with the game development studio, who are sort of a AAA team, they knew nothing about Web3. And again, why would they? Because they're far too busy making a lot of money making amazing games. So the potential of NFTs when brought into the gaming space is significant. And people still look, a lot of the gamers that have a bad sentiment towards gaming, towards NFT games, I believe look at them as just another mechanic for the larger core companies, like your EAs and your Activisions, to screw more money out of their users, giving them something like a loot box. But that isn't the case. And gamers are right to be that distrusting because ultimately, we've seen a world of microtransactions evolve and all sorts of horrible ways and dark patterns to extract as much money as possible. So this, I can understand why people who don't understand what Web3 is, why they'd be so reluctant to want to embrace it. But when they're educated to the point that they realize, hang on a minute, I could buy a skin as an NFT, play it in one game, and should that game ever cease to exist, we can still own that asset and bring it into another game when it has that level of interoperability. And I think when gamers and developers start to realize that and the potential that this can bring, we're going to see some really, really cool things happening. So the number one thing I think that needs to happen here is good content, like great caliber content can start adopting Web3 that's being built by developers who are making games that everyone already knows and loves. But for that to happen, we need to show those game developers what the potentials are and how this is more transformative technology. So in my mind, a great experience that well integrates AAA titles with blockchain and with Web3 is definitely a way to go.
Sweet, amazing. Tony, do you want to add something to it? What are we gonna do as Amakuni to bring more value to the NFT space and gaming in general?
Well, for us, for Amakuni, the way we approach NFT is all about true ownership of digital assets. So that means whatever items you craft within our game, whatever loot you manage to find, they belong to you. Even all the heroes in game, they belong to you. That means, if you want, you can just take them out of the game and then take them wherever because they are your properties. So that's the way we think about it. But again, NFTs is what more important is also the utilities of what that NFTs. What that's utility is all about the what kind of value is bringing to its owner. So, and I also have the same opinions of Ed. We need good game, we need good contents that we can, use the NFT in. If not, then it's going to be very, very difficult to make it, attractive for, let's say, the traditional crowd, like both the gamers and the developers be, interested in this space. So, we need like a AAA title in the NFT gaming space just to get everyone attention. Yeah.
All right, Tony, can you also explain them like the three elements that you implemented in the game, like as an investor, as a farmer, and as a player? What is the difference between them, and how can they bring more value to the game and the NFT space in general?
Yeah, of course. So for us, it's all about having features that accommodate different kind of play style, and giving that our game is a play to earn game, or now we prefer to call it a fun to earn game. It means we have to consider about the amount of initial investment that player has to commit into our product. So for the players who don't have a lot of like initial capital to invest in our game, they can just instead spend time to grind because we have a crafting system within our game. That means the more they craft, they will unlock higher tier items, higher tier equipment that needed for the higher tier heroes. And they can provide that crafting service to other players who don't have the time to grind. They just want to get those items and and have some fun with those items. So that's one way that you don't need a lot of investment in order to start in our game. Another thing is about for those people who want to invest but who doesn't have time to play, what they can do is just stake our governance token. That will give them the right to vote on some of the vital aspect of the game, such as the production rate of the materials, or how the economy should balance, or even like the future direction of games, such which features should we add into our game, or which feature we should remove. Those are quite vital. And of course, if they are our NFT investor, they still can provide a rental service because our NFT are the in-game character. That means they can rent those characters out to other players, to try and to have fun to play the game with. And last but not least are the gamers. this is like the traditional gamers, very competitive. They want to be the best. They want to collect everything. They want to max out everything. For them, they still can earn through our special event, through our B2P tournaments. And of course, since they're gonna have collect everything, they can provide a rental service as well. And then or even like after they're done with the game, they max out everything. They can just sell those heroes or items, for profit, or just return of their initial investment. And so yeah, that's just the three way that we imagine, the three different kind of play style, and depend on their initial capital and how they want to play. We will try to accommodate those type of players. So yeah.
Well, it sounds really amazing because
That
you
is
already.
very cool.
Yeah, sorry. Do you want to say something, Ed, before I?
No, after you. I just, yeah, sounds very cool. And I think the three right pillars to be focusing on to get people engaged.
Yeah, definitely. And you also mentioned the governance token, which is called the AMA token, and then you also have the utility token called the Kuni token. Could you tell us the
Right.
difference between those two tokens, and why did you decided to kept one token and kept the other one unkept?
Well, the governance token is meant for investor, so that means we have to cap it in order to keep the value. To give and for the utility token, it's meant to use for performing different action within the game. For example, like you explore the map or you pay for upkeeping. In our game, we're gonna have like this base building element on top of time management element within our game. So there's some, you can use the utility token to pay for upkeeping. So for the utility token, we don't want to cap it, because if we cap that utility token, that means we also cap the amount of players can get into our game. So we don't want to do that. So for the governance token, there's a cap, but for the utility token, it's gonna be a no cap, inflationary token. So that's the reason.
Okay. So you have two tokens to keep the game operated. And why did you guys decided to launch the game on the BSC network instead of the majority that are creating their projects on the Ethereum network?
The gas fee, man. The gas fee, and and I think there's no really big NFT project on Binance yet. So we want to be that, that's breakout NFT project on the Binance Smart Chain. So but yeah, so.
And also, when it comes to gaming optimization and so on, is Binance Smart Chain better when to operate the game on the blockchain network instead of Ethereum? Because I read something about it as well.
Yeah, Binance Smart Chain, they use the proof of authority. So that means on the verifier node, a verified real person. So that means it doesn't have as many verified nodes as Ethereum, but that allows them for higher performance speed than Ethereum. But still, I mean, we're gonna have another layer on top of it as well. I think you read about this, our Amasu sidechain. So we're gonna have that as well to make sure that we can scale the games as our player base grow.
Yes, and also the decentralized marketplace. You're gonna make this project completely decentralized, if I'm not wrong. Excuse me. And how are you going to achieve this?
Well, our marketplace, after our Genesis sale launch, we're going to also launch the test of our NFT marketplace. So this is like completely decentralized marketplace. It's unlike OpenSea. OpenSea is very centralized. So you can just go there and you can just, like even like sell your NFT if you want. You can buy some of there, and we using the technology of one of our partner, Tomo Chain. They already have this technology built, so we leverage a lot of their expertise on this. So that's why we able to do both, like build this NFT project and also at the same time has them have a set up on this, backend blockchain backend for us. So yeah.
Why did you choose specifically for Tomo Chain? Because they have a market cap of 100 million. The last time I checked.
Yeah. Sorry, what was
Why
the
did you
question?
specifically choose for Tomo Chain?
Well, first of all, because their CTO is our co-founding advisor.
Yeah.
So that's probably the reason. But
Uh-huh.
but to be honest, they was one of the very few Vietnamese blockchain company in Vietnam. It's like they were the first, and they have been building a lot of different products behind the scene, a lot of different things, and I know them at a personal level. So I see with my own eye what they can do. That's why there's a lot of trust there in their capability. So that's why they decide. That's why we have their CTO as our co-founding advisor, and also we are very very confident in terms of the blockchain tech that we can do with Amakuni. Yeah.
Okay, sounds amazing. So I want to pass it over to the Frogland team. Could you guys tell us about the utility that you're going to plan with the project and how you bring more value to the space with the Frogland project? Well, actually, it's a company.
So,
It's not a project.
so this, I think, we actually have Don Love on the line. So if I may, I'm going to pass over to Don Love and let him join.
Don't laugh. What's up?
Yo, what up, everyone? Sorry, I was not watching my my screens, and so I joined a little late.
No problem.
So I missed some of it there, but yeah. Okay. Well, what utility are we building? Well, really, narrative and community around the frogs, and doing that through a virtual space, a metaverse. Um, to go a bit more detailed than that, we are building a economic model around this game that will incentivize essentially people both to hold frogs as well as land, as well as to play the game. So hopefully we end up with people who are doing all three. That they have a frog, they have some land, and they're playing the game. But there are also people who are passive speculators, and we want to be able to support those people as well.
Can I ask you something? Oh, sorry.
Sure.
Yeah, because you are also you have a land, you have a frog, and then you have a land, and then you have the players, right? So three elements is what I'm hearing from you right now. The
Exactly.
land, can you well, every frog has a land. So do we have to purchase the land, or will we get the land airdropped? Or
So land is free for frog holders. There will be a snapshot at some point in time, and then people will be able to claim. And what they're actually getting is a land deed. So and that land deed then maps to actual locations. So you can use the land deed to claim a particular location on the map, but change what location you're claiming at a later date. So yeah. And then there will be additional land deed sales, waves of that, after frogs have their initial land deeds.
so there are gonna be more lands than the amount of frogs that you have released.
Well, yeah. So to clarify, there
Okay.
are the notorious frogs are a collection of 10,000 profile picture avatars. That's the initial collection. Then there's Frogland, which is the area in the metaverse that is quite central where the frogs live. And Frogland is in New Pangaea, which is a large metaverse where we have partner projects. So we've partnered with the Wicked Craniums, with the Gutter Cat Gang,
Yeah, I've seen it.
etc. And so they will be getting, for instance, Gutterville, which is like similar to Frogland. It's a place central to the Gutter Cats and Gutter Dogs, etc. Yeah, and so then there'll be some common elements between the two, but some things that are specific to their area, and will follow a similar model there. but kind of different art theme, different gameplay theme,
Okay.
etc.
And I was checking those other projects as well when I was checking comparing their project with ours, of course. I mean with Frogland, sorry. I saw that the floor price of those projects were already at 3 to 5 Ethereum. I was questioning myself, why in the world is the floor price of Frogland not that high? I was checking the gameplay of other projects and the demo of Frogland. I was like, people really need to do their due diligence because this is a hidden gem. I'm not a moon boy because I'm really realistic when it comes to investing in projects. And looking at the team background and their past careers and the connections that they have, this is gonna explode. People are gonna lose it if they're not on time. So that's why there was also one of my requests to have this interview to get more exposure of your project and our project and to introduce the people to the projects. And also when it comes to the claiming the land. So let's say, for example, I have several frogs, okay, and I think I have 5 frogs in total, and I will be able to claim 5 lands and the land. What was the word that you were using? Land deed.
Yes.
What is the land deed? Can you simplify it for me? Because I don't really understand what it
Okay.
is.
So if you look at something like Decentraland or Sandbox, when you buy a land,
Yeah.
you buy the land at x20 y minus 15. Okay, it is
Yeah,
a
the
specific
coordinates.
coordinate on the map. A
Ah,
land deed you can use to claim a particular coordinate on the map, but
claim a
you
okay.
later on could change that because there will be more available coordinates on the map than there are land deeds. So that way, say you and I have never met, Laga,
Hmm.
and in a year's time we meet and we become best friends. And
Yay.
I have, yeah, and I have a land in Frogland. My land deed is in one place, and you have one as well, but neither of us has any space next to us.
Hmm.
Okay, then we can look and say, well, actually, we're both in the city, and in the top left of the city, there's actually some space. There's 2 lands next to each other that are not taken, um, and so we can both move there.
Hmm.
And so essentially that's kind of creating some mobility so that because we have 2 competing things. We have people who want to cluster all their lands together.
Mm-hmm.
We have other people who say, oh no, I want to spread it out because I want to have the maximum number of neighbors. And there's
Hmm.
no way in the airdropping to frogs of lands to achieve both of those without having some mobility. So the solution there we see is random
Mm-hmm.
at first, and you have the ability to move around.
That is so sick because in Decentraland in Sandbox, from what I know, is once you buy a coordinated land, it just stays there. You cannot move. Is that correct?
Yeah. So it makes it a bit harder to
Yeah.
trade around to become specific neighbors with somebody.
And I have also another question, like, because we have 10,000 frogs, right? And every 10,000 frogs will get a land deed. Excuse me. And after
Hmm.
that 10,000 frogs, you will also sell other lands to other users. Won't,
Yes.
will you sell out everything, or will there be some spot just left over for the land deed to move around?
Oh, there's very much going to be some land left over, so that there's always a way for people to kind of move around. So there's um,
Uh-huh.
in a particular residential area, say the land deeds add up to okay, there's in a particular area, say there's 5,000 square units of area.
Hmm.
Um, and the land deeds actually add up to like 4,500 square units of area, so that there's always some space for people to be able to like move around and cluster or separate, etc. uh, I mean, and so there are those kind of uh, residential areas where there's some a little bit of uninhabited space. There is obviously also a lot of space in the world which is not where people can apply their land deed, which are just for like in-game locations, oriented more around questing and stuff like that, wilderness, etc.
So if I understand it correctly, you can become a real estate agent in the game. Is that
Well,
correct?
yeah, I mean, hopefully so. You know, like that's further down the line as we get deep into the mechanics. But yeah, I'd like to see people doing all sorts of things like that.
This is gonna be
Uh,
amazing. Yeah.
I mean, we're trying to very much create an environment where there's many different ways to play, and we can appeal to all sorts of different uh, itches that people might have.
Okay, so then we have the frog holders. They already they are the early investors, of course. Then we have
Yeah,
the new players that are coming up. They don't have any assets of the game, but they can just jump into the game and buy a land. And then we
yeah.
have uh, another group that they're just going to focus on buying as much land as they can to, I don't know, rent it out. Can you also rent it out, the lands? 'Cause
Yeah, we very much we're first focusing on building out the
yeah,
first
first
phases,
thing first.
so we
Yeah.
don't have to worry about that too much right now. But yes, the
Hmm.
intention is very much to support that kind of activity and build the infrastructure to support that.
Yeah.
So it's really just a matter of where does that fall on the list of priorities and when do we get round to it. Uh,
Okay, okay. Yeah, of course, you have the priorities first. Yeah, that's gonna be amazing. Imagine if your property in Frogland's actually gonna pay the rent in real life. It's gonna be so amazing.
Yeah,
Ah, yeah,
and I
yeah.
mean, so I'm very much thinking about a lot of the game design and very much that for each of those sections of people, people who hold land, people who have an avatar, and people who play the game, it
Hmm.
should both be there should both be reasons to do it in terms of fun, and there should also be reasons to do it in terms of tokenomic incentives.
Hmm.
Um, and so those are really the different things we need to keep in mind and satisfy that uh, really hold up an interesting play to earn environment.
All right, and uh, Ed Mason, I mean Snoop Frog, he already told us at the beginning of this interview that it doesn't matter what rarity frog you have, each frog has his own type of land in the game. Is that true? And how does it
Yeah,
work?
yeah.
Is it just
So
completely randomized or?
yeah, there's no relationship between the frog you have and the land you get at the
Okay.
moment. There are stats on the frogs that are going to affect gameplay, etc. So, different frogs have different strengths or intelligence and natures, things
Hmm.
like that. So that makes a difference, but it doesn't influence what land you get. We see there are a few different metrics which the land deeds
Lendies.
have, um, and so that they won't all be the same,
Mm-hmm.
all the land deeds, but that's going to be random in terms of when people get those. You can think of that like with Bored Ape Yacht Club when people got the Bored Ape Kennel Club. It wasn't that rare apes got rare dogs. It's
Yeah.
it's a new round of randomness. So you might have uh, low stats on your frog and all common traits. You might have the most common frog and get a uh, a really rare seeming land deed.
Oh, it's gonna be amazing. And what about those frogs that have golden skins?
What about them?
Oh, they're so special. I've never
Yeah,
seen it.
yeah, they're great. I love them, but I mean,
It has
we
nothing to
very
do
much
with the land. Yeah.
yeah, exactly.
Hmm.
We don't want to end up in a situation of making the rich richer.
Yeah, yeah,
You know,
true. That's true. I agree with that. Yeah. Everybody has a fair
otherwise,
chance.
that's exactly everyone's got to have a fair chance. That's
Yeah.
part of the fun.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I totally agree with that. And I really respect you guys for also implementing that in the game. So the newcomers also have a chance to um, participate in the game in a fun way and have something to flex on. Because it's basically like a social currency. That's what I read. Something to show the outside world, like, look, this is my land, this is my frog, but look at his land.
Yeah,
Yeah.
100%.
Exactly. And yeah, can you tell us more something about the game that brings more value to the NFT space beside the um, land and the frogs in general? What are you guys gonna do with the marketplace, for example?
Okay, yeah. So I mean, really, that is the way we are thinking about, the in-game economy. It's all about um, things that people can make and bring into the game,
Mm-hmm.
and things that people can craft and use in the game. So whether that be a game item with stats like a gun, like a sword, or whether that be an artwork, a piece of furniture that you can create and sell and use in your plot of land, etc. There's going to be a lot of items, some with game
Mm.
stats, some with aesthetic value, okay, and functional value. Um, and so that's really where we see, in-game economy coming from.
Mm-hmm.
And so everything there is about supporting people who partake in that, both how they exchange between
Mm-hmm.
each other, and also delivering the right kind of tools um, for people to create things and to expose their creations to the world. Um, so
Okay.
yeah, really, we see that not all players are going to necessarily be creators. Some will be consumers. But I think the way to have
Mm-hmm.
the most vibrant and interesting place is to appeal to creators. And that means creator tools and creator economy. I mean, to use the example of Bored Ape Yacht Club again,
Mm.
what they did really well is they actually weren't the first to explicitly give um, the rights to holders of the art. But they
Mm.
were the first to communicate that really well and with something that people connected with.
Mm.
And so you had all these artists um, very much creating derivatives of either their own apes and making enough to cover their initial cost of entry or buy more, or making apes for derivatives for other ape holders, as commissioned work. And that created a cool vibe. There was all these artists hanging out, and
Yeah.
artists are vibrant. Artists are cool. Artists are chilling and smoking a
Yeah.
blunt and playing music with their friends on Twitter and Clubhouse, and
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
it was a fun place to be. And so that's
Mm.
really who we want to appeal to, and that's about creating the right creator tools that artists can build cool things. If artists are building cool things, they will be able to build far more in-game assets than we could ever hope to, no matter what size team we could throw at this.
Yeah.
And we'll get far more variety. So yeah, marketplace is super important. And as important are the tools to facilitate filling that marketplace with interesting things made by interesting people.
So it's gonna be basically what I heard. It's gonna be a people's project. No, no, not a people project. Excuse me. Uh, yeah, it's gonna be a game that's for the gamers by the gamers. Basically, we create it.
Yeah, yeah. So exactly.
Yeah, you said it right.
Uh, there's a lot of feedback loop there, and of course that means that certain things that we show are going to be in a really raw state, and that means that people need to like understand like, hey, some of this is like not so some things when we show it will sometimes be in not a beta stage but in an alpha stage, like expect some things to be broken. But that also means like hey, uh, you get to have more input on guiding this kind of process that you ever really could have in terms of being a consumer than before. You get to rather be part of the community and help guide it. At the same time, that there's a level of trust and communication there that, hey, um, we want your input, but also that means that we're not going to wait for everything to be super polished before we show you.
Mm.
And yeah, so it's that fine balance between getting input and not also turning into design by committee. So there's trying to keep some element of surprise, some element of
Yeah.
mystery, but still getting input and showing people what's going on, having them guide it. Yeah.
It's gonna be amazing.
Fine balancing act.
So when I hear about the items like a sword and a gun, there's gonna be a lot of criminal activity involved in the game, and there's also gonna be like the government. You have the government, and then you have the gangs. That's what I saw in the Discord of your guys. You can do the role play of the frogs. I was like, damn,
Yes.
it's a hard choice. Either I'm gonna be a big gang guy, or I'm gonna be the police or real estate agent. I don't know, something like that. There's so many possibilities.
Yeah, I mean, we definitely have a lot of love for role play. We've been having actually some role play games in our Discord, the FRPG
Yeah.
Frog role playing game, and um, very much uh, you know the Frogland Bureau of Instigation is quite fun. In fact, Andy, are we sorry, Lollyhops? Are we still uh, tagging at FBI once in a while? Because when we first started the project, we were.
We can no longer tag at the FBI on Twitter or Instagram because they've blocked us.
Oh shit! Yeah, no wonder they.
No, but we used to tag them as the Frogland Bureau of Instigation.
Oh god.
Sorry, continue, Andy.
Yeah, so that's we've officially made ourselves enough of a nuisance in doing that we were.
Oh my god, you guys are tagging FBI.
Sorry, that's hilarious. I didn't
Oh,
realize
yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah,
Wow, I can't tag them anymore. I wonder what happened, and then I found out.
Oh yeah, yeah. And I was also curious, like, if you guys are gonna be open to, let's say for example, we have Amakuni now, and we have some items and some models that we can implement in the Frogland game. Is that possible to implement it in your game?
So, I mean, a lot of this comes down to what a metaverse is, and yeah, a lot of people will give different descriptions of what a metaverse is based on their background or based on a particular aspect they want to focus on. I mean, I've heard Ed sometimes describes it as a three-dimensional internet, and and that's a big part of it. Um, I like to think of it as a mashup. Like there are some new elements, but I think it's also a mashup of a new iteration of a whole bunch of things we already know and a couple things we don't. So it is next generation gaming mixed with next generation social media, mixed with a whole bunch of these things in the same space. Um, and really, underlying all that is common interfaces and protocols. Um,
Hmm.
and that's where I really think metaverse, what it is in terms of anti-fragility, and uh, you know permissionlessness around your assets, um, and things that really last and are interoperable. Um, and you need for things to be interoperable if you want them to be anti-fragile, because I really think of the metaverse as not like like many other projects, we refer to ourselves as a metaverse, as a way of conveying the understanding. But really, I think the metaverse is all of these projects together, stitched together in an interoperable way. That is the metaverse. It's no one space, no one game environment or social environment. And so what that's easy to get the composability you need in things like DeFi, or at least we have a much more solid and established understanding of what those first interoperable interfaces and blocks look like. And when it comes to game rules, game power, and and graphical representation, those are unsolved problems in the metaverse, and they are important things for us and other spaces to work on together and implement and adopt standards. um, and that's really what's going to then make it possible um, for somebody to bring a sword over from another world or Decentraland into Frogland,
Yeah.
and use that, which I mean is very much, it's something we're thinking about. something we want to and intend to support. But yeah, that's essentially, I think, a big part of the cutting edge in this space, and it's going
Yeah.
to be interesting how we all get there together and and hopefully build that out together.
Yeah.
Yeah, as a cross community across multiple metaverses, so to speak.
Yeah, I used to say that like in Web 2 we were competitors, and now in Web 3 we can be companions instead of just be competitors. We can just combine our strength together.
100%. I
That's how
mean,
I see it.
I see so much of this as the beauty of NFTs is by actually raising the possible revenue for,
Mm,
so to say, a middle class artist,
mm-hmm.
that you can generate more revenue off the same amount of work. Actually, what that means is that your break even point becomes lower,
Mm-hmm.
or at least this is this is what I hope, such that you can then actually focus on that as being your primary revenue stream, with fewer supporters, fewer collectors than you necessarily had in a Web 2 world. And what that means is that actually that supports you becoming more prolific in that. And so what we hopefully see, what we'll see is not necessarily, there will be celebrities, celebrity artists, musicians, etc. in this space, but um, I really think what we're going to see is a fattening of the artist middle class, which is a
Yeah.
whole bunch of artists who before were starving artists who now can make it, who can get by and make
Yeah.
enough from a small following that actually they end up in a flourishing niche.
Yeah.
And that can hopefully deliver on some of the promise we've had of the internet for a long time,
Mm.
which is having these weird, obscure pockets of the internet
Mm.
um, that cater to everyone's taste. You might uh, have some particular bit of art that is not that common that you really like, but it's actually very possible to find a flourishing amount of that art because although there are not many artists who are doing that, the ones who are actually making enough of their small fan base to be supported. Um,
Mm.
yeah. So I mean, I really hope and think that this space does allow for a more collaboration and
Yeah.
um, more nuance rather than
Yeah.
mass production economies of scale.
And you know the thing what I saw with other project like for example the NFT worlds, they have a floor
Hmm.
price now of 15 Ethereum per land, and it was free to mint that project. And when I was looking at the project, I was studying the project, I was checking like why is this project so valuable now by the community, and I was seeing like this NFT land, it's already operatable on the Minecraft mechanic. There, you don't have to reinvent the wheel, and you could just build stuff on it, and people can play on it, and then you can earn a token called the world token, and then you can.
Hmm.
It has a value of 50 cent per world token. And what I see now is that people are creating Discord community servers and selling Land Pass NFT to participate on their world, and they have their own economy. Like if
Yep.
you mine a diamond, you have X amount of world token. This is like what I saw there. I was like, first you have the NFT world, and now people who own the NFT world, they're creating their own business. They're creating their own NFT to sell tickets, and if people are buying the tickets, they can play on their land. So and you can see like the creativity of the people, what they built on those land is amazing. It's like, oh my God.
100%. I mean, no team, doesn't matter if you're Blizzard or whoever, and you have
Yeah.
a massive AAA, team behind you. You're not going to be able to output as much content as a community of passionate creators and players.
100% agreed. Yes, true. And will that also be
Hmm.
implemented in Frogland?
Well, yeah, so that's kind of what I was speaking to on the market side place is that 100% we are very focused on how are we going to support creators and the creator economy, that we're giving them the right tools to go and build interesting things that they want to, that we could never have imagined. So yeah, I mean, obviously right now we're focused on the very core of the game engine, etc., of the game world, and getting land mechanics out to everyone. So creator tools are a couple steps down the road, but that's a very big part of our focus of where we're going.
Okay. Because I was checking the time because we're already busy for a long time. I want to ask Tony, the Amakuni project, they're also like now focusing selling on the Genesis collections, and after the Genesis collection, they also have the land NFT uh, in their in the pipeline coming up. Could you tell us a little bit more information about that, like the Genesis collection in general, and then the upcoming NFTs?
Yeah, of course, man. So our Genesis and NFT is going to be the character. So in the game, it's going to be in 3D representation of the playable character. But within our game world, the world of Amakuni, we divided this world into 4 continents. So each with different kind of like properties, different kind of advantage, disadvantage, different size. So we also have plan for release the land NFT as well. So this just imagine like you can actually have your own kingdom. You can issue your own tokens within your kingdom. Stuff like that. Things like that. Or even if we manage to collab with different game guilds, they can bring their token stake within our games, and that will give them some sort of like benefit. Or even like they can have their own material as well. For example, like Ali Game Guild, you guys will generate this certain kind of material that will help you craft this certain items that give you some edge over other kingdoms. Things like that. But it's like I said, this is something that's still in our pipeline. We're still trying to work on it, finalize the idea, the game mechanic for this. So it's a bit too early. I think I already said too much, but but yeah, that's roughly our vision of our land NFT. So that is somewhere that we want to make it attractive and accessible to both just the gamers, the retail investor, and also to the big VC and big game guilds out there as well. So that is what we're trying to do. So yeah, that's a briefly, really brief overview of our land NFT.
Yes. Okay. Looking at the time, because we're almost running out of time, is there anything in particular that you want to tell the people about Amakuni?
Yeah. So well, is this is it okay if I'm telling them when we're gonna release the sale?
Yeah, of course, because it's already published
Yeah.
in our Discord. So
Yeah, so Amakuni, our is the RPG games, action RPG. So we're gonna have our Genesis NFT sale in 20th of March for the private. So yeah, so yeah, and it's gonna be a very long term project that we've been working on. We gonna release our first playable after the Genesis sale. So to just get people to kind of have a more visual understanding of what the game is all about. So hopefully it will get people excited enough. We will not hype for our next round of NFT sale. So I'm very excited for Amakuni, and hopefully yeah, we can we and our community can make this game together. So that's the reason why I'm really interested in the way that Frogland is doing things. How you guys manage to leverage your community to contribute ideas, and you guys actually build a demo based on their input. That is really impressive. because I understand how complex it is to make game, not alone to just take people ideas, communities, and just build what they ask for. That is.
Thank you,
I'm not
sir.
sure how you guys select the ideas.
Yeah,
But yeah, that is.
yeah,
So yeah.
definitely. I learned a lot by just reading and checking out their Discord. And from all the Discords that I'm in, I'm checking a lot of projects. I naturally, just out of curiosity, I just go back to the Frogland Discord and
Uh-huh.
check out what did I miss. It's like I don't know. They have something that brings me back to their community, and that is the vibe that is in their community. People are talking and contributing to the game, and you really want to feel part of it. And you just have to, like, I cannot explain this in words. Like, it's like the difference between sugar and salt. You need to taste it yourself. So check it out
Mhm.
yourself. Jump into the Discord, talk with the people, and see what kind of activities they have and how they interact with the community. That's what I like the most about it. And I think we from Amakuni can learn a lot from them as well.
Definitely,
So
definitely.
yeah, and
Yeah.
that's why, like both projects, I'm checking out a lot of projects. And Frogland, they did their homework so well, and I learned so much from them by just reading through the white paper, checking out their socials, listening to Ed Mason and all the creators in the conversation that they have. They also have all the meetings that you missed. You can also check it up later in the Radio Hub Voice channel, if I'm not wrong. And I always listen it at least twice to those recordings, because if you listen it to twice, you get more information out of it. And then I naturally talk about it with Domlev to talk about this project, and then he always says, yes, this is magnifique, this is magnifique. It's so crazy, his reactions. And then yeah, that's what they create. It's very interesting, mysterious what they're gonna launch. And I think we can, and all the projects can learn from that as well. So definitely hop onto their voice. And from our side, from Amakuni, my goal with helping projects out to get more exposure is not I'm just here to get the project on the mainstream. No, my goal is to build up a strong network of people who did their homework and who wants to bring the true value of NFT to the outside world. That's what my goal is. And then eventually, if you bring the true potential of NFTs out to the world, the money will come automatically. So money should be not our main focus. Our main focus should be on providing more utility and value to the space. And that's why I'm very selective when I select projects out. And I'm not looking at numbers. Numbers is indication, okay, but I look at quality engagement. That's what I'm looking for. And with Frogland, I feel like I didn't even look at the numbers. When I was checking out the members in the Discord itself, it was low compared to all the others what I've seen. They buy a lot of users, bots, and whatsoever. But this one they didn't, and I didn't had the feeling like it was low. It was people are engaging a lot in the Discord server, and that's what I appreciate a lot. And I think like we can combine our powers together by giving you guys whitelist spots for Amakuni project, and also um, you guys, if you have anything to add value to our community, that we can exchange something, and let's have some chat more from time to time. That's what I really want to see. So if you guys are open for that, we happily want to reward your community, especially in particular. We want to give you guys some whitelist spots for this project, Amakuni, and from your side, what you can offer, because you already sold out the frogs, but they're still low in price on the secondary market. But perhaps in the future of the land deed, Donlef, if I'm correct, if you're
Yeah,
gonna sell that
yeah, yeah.
out, maybe you can give like whitelist spots for that. I don't know, something. Because
All right.
yeah,
Yeah, that sounds like fun. We should definitely explore,
yeah,
exactly how we can tie our bonds deeper. Uh,
yeah, definitely.
that sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah, definitely. And I have a budget of whitelist spots that I can give to the community and to quality projects. I have three types of tiers of projects, and this is definitely tier one project. That's no doubt about it. So I have no doubt about the progress of Frogland and the team. You have my full trust. I already am board in it with several frogs. I'm jumping in. I'm not missing this out. Definitely not. And also for Amakuni. I'm also not missing this project out. I'm here to learn by investing. If I don't make investments, I will never learn. So yeah, so that is. I really want to thank both of you for making time for this amazing interview and to give more introduction about your projects to the outside community. If you guys from Frogland have anything to add, so we can wrap up this meeting, just fire away.
Lollihops, Snoop Frog.
I mean, I'm just would like to say thank you very much for lining us up, Laga. Really appreciate you being such an active member of the community and really getting what we're trying to do here at Frogland. We're really trying to show the world a new model of how NFT collections can be built and how content can be created, empowering the artists, empowering the creators, and empowering effectively the community to be able to contribute in the product that they'll ultimately be involved in. So really appreciate it. Thank you for the questions. I got to say the activity sounds like a lot of fun as well. So definitely let's keep in touch and let's see what we can do.
Yes, definitely. If anybody else wants to add something, take your time. Here's your chance.
Just gonna say that I think that part of what's gonna make this space in particular be able to be successful and go mainstream without turning into a big corporate conglomerate of grossness that is in the Web 2 world.
Yeah.
It's by being able to like make relationships like this with other projects and with your community members and being able to really interact and interface in like this type of a really personal human connection type of way. And I think that's what's made the space so far so both impressive and important, and what's drawn so many people to it. So the more that we can keep doing things like this where like just two projects come and talk a little bit and do whatever, and the same thing with different community members and being able to be really personal with everyone, I think is what's going to make this place really succeed and be able to survive going mainstream without turning into a big corporate grossness.
Yeah,
for lack of a better word.
Downlove, do you want to add something?
Yeah, I really just wanted to reiterate what Lollihops and Snoop Frog were saying.
Yeah.
Is that I think we have a great opportunity in this space to change the atmosphere of these kind of spaces, and have a more active say, a more active role as communities in where we want to spend our time, what it looks like, how it feels, rather than having Facebook kind of service up this vanilla landscape of sameness, and tell us that we love it.
Yeah.
I'm
really looking forward to more information and development of the projects like both Amakuni and Frogland. And I'm super excited to see the future, where the future is going to bring us. And yeah, it's the community. If you have the community behind you, the project is going to succeed automatically. So that's what I learned from my journey in the crypto and NFT space. If you have the community, if you have their support, it's definitely going to succeed. So our main goal should be bringing more utility and value to the community itself, and then it will automatically roll into a snowball effect. That's what I believe in.
And if you listen to the community, like they tell you what they want for their utility and all that, then it's easy.
100%. And yeah, you just listen to the community and invest back, serve the people, serve the community, and the success will come to you. That's what I see in the project. And also, Tony, I really want to thank you as well for your time and attention. Is there anything last you want to say before we wrap up this video?
Yeah, I just want to thank everyone, Ed, Love, and Lollipop from Frogland to spending your time with me and Ali. And I think I'm really impressed. After I'm checking out your project, I'm really impressed with how you guys involve so much of your development process that involve the communities. I'm a tech guy myself, and I understand how challenging it is. Just making on this stuff, not alone. Having to involve communities. Some of them are not even like probably just have some ideas they want to make this thing is cool. And also, not to mention that when you do that, you also always have to showcase like early progress, and that sometimes can give a lot of like reaction because they don't have the same expectation. So how do you guys manage the entire process? I'm still very curious, and I hope that we can have some more session like this, so I can pick your brain and asking more detailed question about your process, the way you guys do things. But so far I think. So yeah, that's it. Just want to thank you guys, and just want to say that I'm glad that we spend some time together. This is how it should be done. It's not about what can you give me or what can I give you. It's not about that. It's about just chatting with each other and just learn more about each other and see what we can do for the community as a whole. So thank you everyone. Thank you for spending the time
100%.
with us.
Thanks, Tony, and thanks, Laga. Yeah, 100%. It's
Yeah.
been an absolute pleasure.
Yes, I do this with love. Trust me. I do this with love. I love it so much. Learning and studying and knowing people in the space. It's where my passion lies. All right, guys. I'm
Wonderful.
gonna finish up this video. I really want to thank you again for your time and attention and all the very informative information that you gave us. We both can learn from this very informative session. Let's just bring the best out of it. Ribbit. Thank you so much, guys.
Rabbit, rabbit.
Ribbit.
Thanks again.
Bye-bye.
Bye
Have a good
bye.
day. Bye.
Ciao.
Bye. Thanks, guys.